Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to another story time with Mr. Prance. This week we are looking at Aussie themed stories. So today we have Give Me a Home Amongst the Gum Trees by Bob Brown and Wally Johnson. Now, this is a famous song that we sing, so you can have a look on YouTube and sing along with this afterwards. But here we go with our story for today. I've been around the world a couple of times, or maybe more. I've seen the sights and had delights on every foreign shore. But when my friends all ask me about the places that I adore, I tell them right away. Give me a home amongst the gum trees with lots of plum trees. A sheep or two and a kangaroo. A clothesline out the back. A veranda out the front and an old rocking chair. You see me in the kitchen cooking up a roast or Vegemite on toast. Just you and me and a cup of tea. And later on we'll settle down beside the hitching post and watch the possums play. Give me a home amongst the gum trees with lots of plum trees. A sheep or two, a kangaroo, a clothesline out the back, veranda out the front, and an old rocking chair. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed my little story sing-along there. Give me a home amongst the gum trees. Now, there are some interesting words along here, boys and girls, that you might not be familiar with, and that's why I thought I'd read this story today, a bit of Australiana, teach us some Aussie words. So here we have foreign shores. Foreign shores just means that they're places that are not from where we're from. Okay, so he's seen the sights and he's had delights and he's travelled all across the world. So here in some of our pictures, we've got him eating pizza in the Leaning Tower of Pizza in Italy. He's gone to the snow in the North Pole to see the penguins and the polar bears. He's travelled over to France. He's having a baguette there with the Eiffel Tower. But he loves coming back home, and of all the different places, he would rather be here in his own house. So here we have a tin roof house. Now, my family grew up on a farm, and my great-grandmother, she lived in a house that had an iron roof or a tin roof. Corrugated iron. So here we can see his house here has got all these iron sheets on top. It's made out of wood. That was a common thing because that was an easy resource to come with all the trees there. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, shearing a sheep. And we got a kangaroo. The clothesline out the back. This is the old Hills Hoist clothesline. Famous brand, the Hills Hoist. This is an old clothesline that goes spinning around there. You might have one in your backyard, or if you live in an apartment, you might have a clothes rack that you dry on your balcony. The veranda. Now, this is a good thing, and the old rocking chair. So my grandma, she had a veranda which was made out of wood here, just like this. Around your house, where you could go out to the back of your house, you can sit out on your deck or your veranda or your patio, as they might say. And the rocking chair. Grandma used to sit on her rocking chair there and watch my mum and her sisters running around on the farm. And you, as a baby, might have been rocked in a rocking chair by your mum or grandparents as well. Cooking up a roast. Roasts are an Aussie thing, very popular thing for those that grew up in the country too. We used to have a roast every Sunday, the Sunday roast. It was there. Could be lamb or beef or pork. But lamb was very common because when my mum was growing up, they had lots and lots of sheep. And at that time, there were too many sheep. And so they had to predominantly eat a lot of lamb. It was very, very cheap. Now lamb is expensive compared to eating beef and pork. But I love a pork roast. Vegemite on toast, such a classic Aussie thing. Vegemite there. Was sold to Kraft. They were an American company, actually, Kraft. But only made in Australia, Vegemite. the Americans don't really like it. And now I believe Vegemite has been bought by Bega. And so now Vegemite is made in Australia again by an Australian company, Bega, very famous cheese company. Cup of teas. Well, I don't really drink cup of teas. I drink coffee. And you'll find more and more Australians probably drink coffee now with our European influences, people from over in Italy and other WOG countries, those that came from the western side of Europe, coffee. But traditionally, tea was drank because the English loved drinking tea, and the Australians that were first came over here when the indigenous people were living here, the Aborigines, they came from England. They came and colonised Australia. And you'll learn more about that in year 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Okay, the hitching post. Now, the hitching post is a place where it's you go around, you're having a bit of a chat. Okay, so that's a real old term there, the hitching post. We'll settle down beside the hitching post. So here we have the poles there that hold up the house onto the veranda, and this is the hitching post. There's people where they commonly would come and sit and have a chat, or lean across the beams there and have a bit of a chat. And they're watching the possums play the piano. And it says here all about what they enjoy. Give me a house amongst the gum trees with lots of plum trees. Love that Aussie backyard of fruit trees. A sheep or two and a kangaroo clothesline out the back. That Aussie hills horse I told you about. The veranda at the front. You could be sitting on your veranda at the front or at the back, having a chill on your rocking chair, drinking some tea, watching the farm animals go by, or the kids playing in the front yard. As I said, my grandma, she used to sit on the rocking chair there and watch my mum and her sisters having a play in the front yard there. The big farmland, be the sheep out there and the paddocks. You'd have the dogs in the kennels tied up after they'd done their day working, rounding up the sheep, barking away in the trees, because they used to sleep in these big trees with their kennels nestled in the trees there. So there's always stuff going on down at the farm. And if you get an opportunity after lockdown to go down and visit rural parts of New South Wales, I highly recommend going down to Nundle. That's where my parents, my mother is from, Nundle. Lovely country town there, where they've got some woolen mills. They've got the old woolen mill there, so you can see the wool from the sheep being processed into the wool that you can use for knitting, and you can see the gold mining, because there was a lot of gold mining going down there. They call it the Fossickers Way. So people used to go down to Nundle and other parts of the areas down there and go searching for gold in the creeks and the rivers. All right, well, it's been having a good chat with you, and I look forward to our next story, the last one for the term. This is week 10 now, so this is the last week of term. So Thursday will be our last story, and we'll look at the Lamington Man, an Aussie take on the good old the Gingerbread Man. So we're going to look at the Lamington Man. All right, bye for now.